Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the actual Winter Wildcards market crash. What an absolute madness yesterday was on this game, with prices on the market falling through the floor, all because of the big Winter Wildcards leaks and information that were dropped about the exciting upcoming promo tomorrow. We got to take a look at these leaks and all the information and what's going to happen with the market from here, with all the prices that have gone down, but a few that have come back up after yesterday's panic, with probably more leaks and a lot more to look forward to today. And finally, EA upgraded some of these Thunderstruck cards that we were waiting on, and the FC Pro Live cards, so we got to talk about that, and another silver evolution along with an 88 plus party bag from yesterday's content. Guys, there's a lot to talk about. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Let's start how we always do, by looking over yesterday's content on Wednesday first with our daily evolution release. Guys, we had another silver boosting Evo. This one's paid though. It's not free like the center back boost that we had a couple days back. This one's for right backs who cannot play center back, actually. The stats, the playstyles that you get here in boosting these cards, very good. Anytime it's a silver boosting Evo, you gotta have playstyles and you need to have a lot of stats to put these cards into the current meta of the game, and I think this Evo does a decent job of that. Plus 30 stamina up to 87, plus 15 strength. You get a playstyle plus of Bruiser and 4 other playstyles: Ping Pass, Whipped Pass, Relentless, and Jockey. Very important for all of these defenders that we are going to be building here. Again, 50,000 coins is probably the big thing that's going to hinder a lot of people. You do get fullback plus plus as well for the roll plus plus, which is really nice. I think there's a few cards in this that stick out above the rest. This Archie Gray, for me as a Spurs fan, is 100% the card that I'll be doing. There's a couple of US men's national team players that look pretty solid in this as well. It's one of those that you have to kind of get done soon, actually. I just noticed it's 6 days to put somebody into it. But if there's a player that sticks out to you, definitely go ahead and do this one. If there's not, then maybe it is one worth skipping, because it is 50,000 coins, and those 50k could be used towards something maybe more fun and enjoyable during Winter Wildcards, or maybe another paid Evo in the future, whatever it may be, right? Coins are king. So if you don't have a lot, or this one isn't speaking to you in terms of an Evo, then maybe it's not worth doing straight away because it is paid. But it's another solid Evo, and I think it does all the things that we like to see for an Evo that boost up a silver to a meta player. Now, let's go to SBCs, where probably the biggest content was in the new campaign player pack. 88 plus. It was the one that was leaked. We have been talking about it in the last couple of days. This is actually a solid SBC, guys. For a gamble pack, it's actually kind of decent. 84, 84, and 85. It's coming in at 93,000 coins. Now, I did this and I packed Wendy Renard, so technically that is not a W. She's only like 40, 50k, and this SBC is double that, right? But for the player pool that this has in it, I know a lot of the prices have crashed, so there's not as many of them that are expensive anymore, or maybe even at the value of the SBC, but it still gives you a decent chance at packing something pretty good, and it's fun to do. Again, if you don't have the fodder to do it, or you're saving up your packs so you don't have a lot of fodder, you don't have to hurry. This is still out for a whole nother week. You could do it during Winter Wildcards with that sort of fodder situation. It's got a lot of upvotes on Footbin. I think it's just because it was cheaper than what was expected. Of course, since a lot of people are doing this though, you do have 83s, 84s, and 85s that have gone up in price. 84 is the most. They are almost, or they are 3,000 coins at the moment. If you take a look at the graph yesterday, they went from 2.5k and basically up to 3k after content, with the 88 plus campaign and the 84 or 85 plus player pick out, which both require 84s. And I'm going to make sure to do the 85 picks every single day. I'm going to have to buy some 84s to get this done. I'm sure a lot of you guys are wanting to save and stock these up as well for Winter Wildcards upcoming. Now, with this SBC, I got to mention this because it was going around on Twitter yesterday. There was evidently a compensation situation in the Svenska in Swedish, and in the Russian versions of the game, the languages, right? On the web app or the companion app, people were opening this pack after they completed the SBC in hopes of compensation, because it said player pick allegedly in those languages. So I believe EA fixed it, so that means there could be compensation incoming, but I don't think they've tweeted about it or acknowledged it. And it's different because it's a SBC pack, and it's not a blatant and obvious mistake. and it's not a store pack, right? So we're really wondering, I'm wondering if we're going to get compensation for this. We've gotten compensation for SBC packs before, but the one that I'm remembering was like, it was an 86 plus player pick and it said 87 plus. That's pretty obvious. Big mistake. This one is kind of a smaller one. It said player pick instead of pack, which is a big mistake. Don't get me wrong, but EA have not tweeted about it yet. There still could be compensation if you did that and opened it during that time frame. It has been fixed allegedly in those languages, so don't try and do anything crazy about getting it now. But I had to mention that because there was a lot of tweets about that yesterday. Now, the new team of the week that we had yesterday too, since it was a Wednesday, there's really not a whole lot to go off of here. Rodrigo is decent. For future Evos, maybe a month or two down the line, that could be a good card. Isak, same thing. Isak's very cheap compared to his Thunderstruck card for sure. The rest of the team week doesn't look that great. I will give one shout, however, to the PSG left wing. Left mid also has center mid position. This card looks like he's going to be a beast for Evos for the rest of this game. With those positions and those stats, he does only have a 3-star weak foot, but actually right now he goes into the Dino Magic Evolution, and take a look at the card you can make with this. If you want PSG links, this looks like a really, really good card, or maybe this is just one that you would especially want to stock for discard in your club this week. PSG links, French, and of course those alternate positions and those stats. That looks like a really good card for an Evo in the future. So I wanted to mention that either right now or in the future for an evolution. Now let's talk about upgrades, guys, because EA finally upgraded the cards. They were late by a day on the FC Pros and the Thunderstrucks, but hey, better late than never, I guess we'll say. This is probably the best looking card after the upgrades. Barella got some insane play styles, and of course you got the +1. He got long ball, and I think it was Bruiser and long ball, especially long ball. That's very OP in this game, right? That's kind of the way that people can get in behind the defense most consistently, and him getting the +1 overall with the long ball playstyle is making this SBC look like it was really good value. Still is available, it still is out right now until the end of the month. That's an SBC I think maybe people are considering doing, or at least thinking about. With Winter Wildcards ahead, that looks like a really good card for Serie A links. He got a nice boost there. Rashford, the card that I had bought, which I was able to luckily sell before the big market crash yesterday at 4.1 million coins, so I didn't lose a whole lot there. He got Trickster playstyle, which is the one that we were hoping that he would get. He got Trickster, and I think he got Whipped Pass as well. So that card looks pretty crazy. Now for the FC Pros, Gabby Jesus, I think, got the best upgrade out of all of them. He went +1, and he got 5-star skills. So that was a nice upgrade for him. And then my left back, Rusilian, who a lot of you guys probably had in your club as well, he got a nice boost. Mine was evolved, so he got even a bigger boost here. 89 pace, 77 shooting, 81 pass, 86 dribble, and he got a 4-star skill move boost there too. So very excited about that one. He's a pretty good card. So those FC Pro and those Thunderstruck upgrades are finally out. There was a whole bunch of Thunderstruck upgrades. Make sure you check the Footbin tracker if you want to look through more of those. Players tab, down to trackers, over to Thunderstruck, and you can look through and compare some of those. One last one I will shout is John Barnes. He got the +1 yesterday. Rooney for the icon as well. He got some decent play styles. He got first touch and was it rapid? I think it was rapid and first touch, if I'm remembering correctly on this card. I think it was rapid and first touch. Anyways, he got the upgrade there. That card is actually up a little bit in price. Thunderstrucks, we got to be careful with because some of them are coming back into packs. We'll talk about that more in a second. Now, let's get to the big news, right? The whole entire market crash and all the leaks about Winter Wildcards. Guys, yesterday was a madness, okay? We knew the market was going to drop, but the severity of the drops yesterday and how quickly the panic and the undercuts and everything was setting in, it was mad. Now, this is the reason why it was leaking. Now, these leaks right here are actually players that are going to be coming during the Winter Wildcards promo. Vinny Jr., Frankie de Jong, Eden Hazard, and R9 are all coming in this promo of Winter Wildcards. And this is just kind of a summary tweet of what is coming, right? We are getting boosts to Winter Wildcards players that could have 2 playstyle pluses. I would imagine that all the top tier and highest rated players in this promo will have 2 playstyle pluses. Probably just a handful, like we talked about yesterday. Just maybe like 4 or 5 players from the main team, maybe 1 or 2 heroes, and a couple of icons as well. That's going to command some big prices for those cards. There's also leaks that there's 99 stat boosts on some of these cards. Like either a Frankie de Jong or a Vinny Jr. may have one individual stat boosted to 99. We saw that last year. I think we've seen that in previous years in the past too. But like the Balotelli Santa Hat card last year had 99 dribble. We're going to see that this year with some cards too. 5-star weak foot, 5-star skills upgrades are going to be given out too for some cards. And then position changes. We've already heard about the Erling Haaland, right? The leak that he's got for a center back card and a striker card. You would think at least one of those would have a 2 playstyle pluses. Maybe both of them would. So that's sort of, that was sort of adding to the leaks yesterday as well. And then again, these are all leaked players. We're getting not just one version of R9, but 2. There's going to be a big boy and a little bro. Remember the little bro icons from previous years? It sounds like that sort of thing is coming back. Maybe the little bro icon is only going to have 1 playstyle plus and the big bro would have 2. That would kind of make sense. The little bro one would be cheaper and hopefully a lot cheaper than the price of even the base R9 on the market. Base R9 is like what? Still 10 million coins. The big bro one's probably going to be extinct and this one hopefully is semi-affordable, but it's going to be mad expensive. Hazard's getting a card. We just saw that leak there. And Yaya Toure is one of the latest leaked cards here. We still have a lot of unknowns of who is going to be in this promo team. We still have a lot more leaks to look forward to, but that's kind of what's setting the stage for a really hype winter wildcards, kind of delivering in a lot of aspects that we wanted to see. Really hype players with big boosts. They're pushing the power curve, the 5-star skills, the 5-star weak foot upgrades, the position changes, the 99 stat boost. It's looking pretty crazy. Now, this is just, again, kind of an overview of the leaks and what's coming with this promo. The daily login and the crafting SBCs, those are going to be coming. We have the re-release, which we're going to talk about here in a second. We're going to have Winter Wildcards Evolutions with a Winter Wildcards design. Anytime a promo has a specific card design for Evolutions, you know there's going to be some good evos. We see that every single time that happens. Daily player SBCs and objectives. I mean, I guess that's technically a leak. We had daily evos during Globetrotters. We expect the daily SBCs during Winter Wildcards. That's a thing that happens every single year. And then, of course, the stuff that we have already mentioned with 2 different versions of players and the 2 play style pluses. We just don't have a ton of players leaked yet. I mean, we only have a handful. So that's something that I would expect to see today, guys, because every single Thursday on this game, we see a lot of leaked players. I think that's one of the reasons I fear the market's still going to continue dropping. We'll talk more about the market in a second, but let's talk about SBC leaks because that's obviously a huge part of every single promo as well. Who's going to be in an SBC? Right now, all we have is a hint that there's a Brazilian that's going to be as an SBC. You see here in this cryptic tweet from FIFA Romania yesterday, he capitalized the beginning of every single word, SBC Brazil. So SBC Brazil is the hint. We don't know who it is. There's rumors of like Cafu or Socrates, but it might not be an icon. It could be an outfield player. Like last year we had Martinelli. Could be like a right wing like him. Who knows? You know, it could be anybody. So watch out for more of those leaks today. Obviously, if he knows it's SBC Brazil, he probably knows who it is. I would imagine there's more leaks incoming. Now, I mentioned the re-release, right? And this is the actual loading screen as you load into Ultimate Team right now. These 5 different card designs make up the different cards that will be re-released in packs, which if you're an inform investor, you look at this and you say, yes, because there's no informs shown on this screen, which is very good for the potential rise in price of informs during this promo. They're actually already starting to lift off of minimum price on the market because of yesterday's party bag SBC. I think they were all they're now selling just a little bit below 11, but they were all selling at 11,000 coins instantly on the market. I think if you want to get some informs in your club, get the highest rated ones that you can for discard price at like 10K, because they might just start to trickle up unless EA provides some sort of tradable Team of the Week supply. It's not going to be anything like Black Friday where we had all those Team of the Weeks in packs. But anyway, the best of release, as we talked about yesterday, is going to include some players that we already know of because of EA's price range changes. And some of those cards are still up. Like there was a bunch of panic on these yesterday. And then some of them rebounded back up. And we're going to talk about that. That happened in a lot of places of the market. But once again, just to kind of go over a short list of names that are going to have some, they updated more price ranges. Okay, so maybe we can't go off of this. They upgraded some Thunderstruck price ranges. But Messi, Marquinhos, Gyökeres, Basha, Palhinha, Reinders, Chiesa, and Van de Ven are all cards that we expect to be in a re-release, and this is counting down towards tomorrow. So the mini release is not coming out today, but definitely be very careful with any players from these promos. And I think that's going to continue to kind of impact the market in terms of where prices are moving. even today on Thursday with Rivals rewards and with everything that is going on, we're not entirely sure yet of who's going to get re-released because, of course, anything that gets re-released is going to get packed a lot and you probably don't want to buy it. Now, let's talk about the market crash and all of the prices that tanked yesterday. Now, you might be looking at some prices, you're like, Nate, that Messi, he was 1.7 on the graph and now he's up to 1.9. He rebounded? He did, but it's not going to last. I do believe that prices are going to come back down today. This is how the market went yesterday. This is the index icon on Footbin. I love looking at this index because I think it paints a picture really well for how the meta market moves on any given day. And this is how it moved yesterday. Tons of panic, undercutting. Nobody was wanting to buy cards yesterday because we knew Winter Wildcards was coming. And so the undercuts and the panic, people that were scared for the promo just kept happening. Undercuts, undercuts, undercuts. It went low, 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 low. And then a little bit after content, you kind of reached a low point where the panic ended and prices got so cheap. And I think some people were looking for prices on cards that they could buy that would maybe rise up a little bit this weekend. And you started to see a little bit of a turnaround where people went out and saw the prices hit a low point. The panic kind of stopped and you have a little bit of a bounce here. And some of the cards have gone up. Now, prices overall, you look at this graph, right? We started here and we're still down here. We are very down. We are in the middle of a market crash, and this was expected to a point, but the gravity of the price drops yesterday was the thing that was really insane. Kylian Mbappe started the day at 2.3 million coins. He went down under 2 mil for the first time this year. Mbappe was under 2 mil. He rebounded back up to about 2.1, where he is right now. Now, here's the thing. I do believe these cards are going to drop a little bit more today. I don't know if it's going to be as drastic. What I would really want to watch for if I was wanting to buy somebody for my team, especially if it was an out-of-pack special card, which would be the only type of card that I would be even thinking about trying to invest in for a team right now for a short-term investment too. Guys, Winter Wildcards always cooks the market, and usually the Winter Wildcards market still crashes after the promo comes out into the holiday season, and maybe we see a little bit of a rise into the market into January. This isn't really the same as Black Friday, where you see a bunch of cards drop for a whole month and then rebound back up for a week or two. We're just kind of going to keep going down, and then you have Team of the Year coming a few weeks after this, and that's going to make the market crash a whole nother level. So it's not like I'm saying don't buy something for your team, but if you're going to buy something for your team, just make sure it's something that's not getting re-released and don't plan to hold on to it for super long. Maybe just a player you try out for a week or two and then sell before Team of the Year to, again, prevent from losing a ton more coins there. Now, Mbappe, again, this is somebody you want for your team. What you're going to look for today is, since prices have rebounded just a little bit back up, between today and tomorrow and Friday, you would want to see him get near the low point that he had yesterday. I think between yesterday's low points that you saw on the graphs for a lot of these cards and where their prices have maybe rebounded up to just a little bit, that's kind of what you're going to look forward to if you're looking for something in your team. I don't think yesterday was the lowest of the lows on all players. Some players may go lower than where they were yesterday, but other cards are maybe going to be a little bit above that, and you're going to try to look to get them as close as you can to that low. Like this Thuram was 620K. He went back to 700. He's still 680, 690 right now. I do believe, though, that you're going to see prices get back down to where they were yesterday on a lot of cards because, again, right now in this market, there's not a lot of people that are buying because of all the crazy content that we're expecting to see and all the unknowns, too. Like, what are these numero foot cards? We still have these cards that are out there that we don't know what in the world these Infinity Stone looking cards are supposed to do. There was packs added to the code yesterday that say contains 5 Winter Wildcards Hero, Icon, or Numero Foot player items. So if these are like pretty popular and there's a lot of them on the market, that could really hurt a lot of cards in this game. We don't know. Like there's so many questions that we are still asking about these cards. There's even like a super numero foot guarantee pack, deluxe numero foot guarantee. So unless this is a promo that's coming after after Winter Wildcards, which that's not how it's been leaked. It's leaked to be a part of Winter Wildcards, even with the pack code being like this. We still have so many questions. That's kind of the biggest question mark for me. That and the SBCs are the biggest question mark for me in the market right now. So overall, I would be very, very careful about buying a card for your team. The stuff that is going to do the best over the next couple of days is probably going to be low budget, but even then, it's just a good time to be untradeable, to be watching the market, even with Rivals rewards today. Like, think about this, guys. Rivals is usually a day where we look at the market and we say, yeah, we're going to go buy some cards because the market goes up on Thursdays. But as I look at the market today, I see a market where some people are going to open rewards, but a lot of people probably aren't. So I don't want to buy too many cards. Where's the demand today is my question. I don't think there's a lot of it around on this game. I think a lot of people are waiting for winter wildcards and for tomorrow. And there's going to be some more panic drops, and there's going to be some more prices that just stay low until we know more of what is coming. So that's kind of my thought process with the market at the moment. I don't think it goes a whole lot lower than where we saw those really low points yesterday, especially on some of like the Thunderstruck cards. The only ones that are going to go lower are like this Icarus. He's getting re-released in packs. He's going to go lower, right? Because he's going to get supplied and people are going to open a lot of packs this weekend. But other cards that you'd maybe just keep an eye on would be like a Kunde. You know, so many players that are still going to have some hype in this game. Just keep a watch on them, but I wouldn't expect them to continue to go up for any reason until we at least get to tomorrow and Friday and see what this promo is going to look like. Now, let's talk about Fodder a little bit, because this is a very important part of the market too, because Fodder is looking a bit more interesting for an investment after some of it dropped yesterday too. I like the higher rateds the most. Like we've been mentioning this week, higher rateds have the biggest potential to move because they are very, very low overall. 91's under 30K, 90's at 22 to 23,000 coins. But I think we need to see the SBCs that are leaked. We're expecting a lot of SBCs, but if they're not good, like last year, we started off with some good SBCs, but then it kind of tailed off. If the SBCs don't look good, big name players, right? Probably expensive SBCs that would help these high rateds go up, then you maybe don't want to invest. Again, I think between today and tomorrow's pack supply will be the low point. Based on what happened during Black Friday, you want to wait for the pack supply. You do. So maybe Friday tomorrow will be the best time to buy high-rated fodder, but I do think it'll be a good investment. 88 rated and above would be the investment on fodder to be watching and to potentially pick up. So, guys, yeah, yesterday on the market was crazy because of all the panic sells. You had a little bit of a bounce after that. We were able to make some coins, and it's just, we're going to experience days like that on this market throughout the rest of the year a couple more times with Team of the Year incoming. There's going to be crashes. There's always a big crash in March, in Foot Birthday, then into Team of the Season again, and even sometimes in the summer. And there's times, like if you watch the second channel video yesterday, it just seems like everything is crashing. It's like never going to stop. But then you kind of have to remember, there is going to be a bottom, and at some point the panic is going to end, and there's going to be some rebounds. But especially if you're somebody who's holding a card and the market's dropping, you're just watching it drop, you're like, oh my goodness, this sucks. When's it going to bottom out? When's it going to go back up? It is a really painful thing to watch, and it's stressful, right? But in the end, you know, you can always take the cash on a card and know that if you're selling the card, even if you're losing coins, that card's going to be cheaper at some point later on during the year. That's a guarantee because of how this game works. So if you sold this Messi for 500K yesterday, which is where I bought him at, and then I sold him for 580,000 coins, it's only 80,000 coins. It's not that big of a deal. If you lost coins, it's easy to make them back this year for sure with the trades. We'll be watching ways to make coins during winter wildcards. The market's still going to move a lot, so there's going to be ways to make coins back, but it does suck when you lose coins. I get that. I feel that. It's very frustrating. It's unfortunate, but there's ways to trade in and out of it as well. And yesterday with those bounces, it was feeling risky, but once you start to see the market bounce back a lot like that, that's a time where you can be like, all right, if I'm going to be able to get in and trade for a little bit here, I can look at some rare cards that are down a bunch. Watch yesterday's video. We talked about that a lot in the video yesterday as we were trading live on stream, buying cards like this Harry Kane for 370, selling him for 499. Same thing with the Messi that I talked about there. Olise we made a good bit of profit on. I bought 3 Suarez. That was a bit of fun there with him that we traded. We bought a Gravenberch. So not to just flex the trades, but there are ways that you can make coins in a market crash, even if you've lost some, to try to recoup some of those profits. Same thing with the fodder. If you're more of a long-term buy it and hold type of person in terms of investing, fodder is going to be your play this weekend for sure. Watch the higher rateds, sit on that stuff for the next week or two before Team of the Year, watch it rise. Then you'll be able to sell and make some money. Anyways, that's all the market talk there. Let's talk about content today on Thursday really quick to end out the video. We are expecting a Player of the Month. The Player of the Month Harry Kane SBC is going away. Marmouche is going to be the one who replaces him. Another Player of the Month SBC win for him. Hopefully he gets a weak foot. I think it's the weak foot that he needs an upgrade on. I did not do the first player of the month Marmouche because he had chip shot plus. A lot of people have said he's a pretty good card though. And of course he has a really good Trailblazers with power shot plus. We'll see how good EA boost his card today. So watch out for that. Of course, it's a Thursday, so we're going to expect a marquee matchups, set of SBCs, and probably a lot of SP. I just finished the season with the friendly mode SP. But I would expect to see EA refresh the weekly objectives today and probably up the ante just to help people get to that level 35 season end. Last thing to watch for today is a part of this promo that we're expecting is the daily logins and the daily SBCs in terms of the upgrade packs. Last year we had the 8310 and we had a daily login dropped a day before Winter Wildcards actually started. I think that same thing is going to happen again today, guys. Watch out for the daily login to drop today. And 8310, well, there's an 8310 in the code because there's an 8310 that's in objectives. Either an 8310 or the 8214. A lot of people have been projecting that that could be our repeatable SBC pack. 8214 or 8310. Watch out for that today. That would be something you definitely want to do every single day a couple of times, as that's how we expect it to be released. That could be a part of content today as well. And then, of course, we have Rivals Rewards. I kind of already mentioned it when we talked about the market, but Rivals Rewards for me today is just going to supply some of the market with the Globetrotters cards. If you, I guess, wanted to buy one of these, I still think these are going to drop because some people are going to open their packs today, and you're going to see some of these go down in value for that. But I would treat these like any other card that's in this current market. Be very careful with it. It's got to be down a lot if you're going to try and go ahead and invest in it. And, you know, I will say this. I think from this promo team, there's a plenty number of players here that are discard value, that have value going forward for evolutions and for just the links that they provide. Like Chucky Lozano. That's a card that if you have the coins, maybe just stock one in the club. Same thing with maybe a Podolski, Adventrula. And I'd probably say Caceres as well from the MLS. I just think that a couple of these at like discard price, if you have a couple 100,000 coins, just buy one, put it in the club, because they do possess something that a lot of cards don't have in their leagues, and that is extra chemistry links, which is really important for squad building for the future. So I'll stop yapping, but the hype builds for Winter Wildcards, guys. I can't wait for it to come. Watch out for more leaks today. We expect a lot of news around that and some more moves on the market too. We'll still be trading for sure with the flips, but I don't think they're going to be as crazy as yesterday, as I think the market's just going to kind of slowly fizzle down. You'll have some movements up, but it's really going to depend on the leaks and what other big news we get. So that's the video for me today, guys. If you did enjoy, drop a thumbs up on it, comment down below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you're new. Check out the second channel again. I mentioned it like 3 times, but check that out. It was a crazy one yesterday. And yeah, that's the video for me, guys. Have a great day. I will see you in the stream today. That link's in the description if you want to check us out on Twitch. We'll be live streaming, seeing what leaks and content come out, and maneuvering the market in these uncertain times. Again, guys, I will see you there. It's been TheFutAccountant. Have a great Thursday. Peace.